have Subway Series recap. It's Reed, it's Cross, and going into this Subway Series, the Mets have a new look bullpen with their awful 5.55 bullpen ERA. They send down Brooks quarter pounders, send down Chris Flexen, send down Steven Nozek, and send down Chris Mazza. I was surprised about them sending down Chris Mazza and Brooks pounders because they've been all right compared to the other guys in the bullpen. Send those guys down, call up Jerry's Familia, call up Justin Wilson, and call up Luis Avalon. And the biggest move was moving Steven Matz to the bullpen, which I think could work out really well for Steven Matz. It could be like sort of a John Smoltz situation. John Smoltz had success as a starter and a relief pitcher throughout his entire career, and I could see Steven Matz having that success as a relief pitcher.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, all things work. Maybe he's meant to be a bullpen guy. Maybe like Chad Green. He was started off as a starter. Maybe similar to Matz a bit. He could be the next Chad Green.
Yeah, and it can't be worse. It can't go any worse for Matz because besides his first innings, he's been all right the entire season. But he would just get killed in the first innings, like almost every start. So a couple more stats on the Mets bullpen. 21 blown saves. That's the most in baseball. Cut that in half. Like even with 10 or 11 blown saves, that's still awful. But cut that in half and we're over 500. And in June, we have a 7.53 ERA from our bullpen. And since May 27th, our bullpen is 3-12 with an 8.05 ERA. That's just disgusting. You're not gonna make any noise with a bullpen like that.
No, not at all. And definitely in today's game, you need an elite bullpen if you want to compete.
Yeah, so going right into the games, the Yankees jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead. Gleyber Torres drove in Didi. Let me tell you something. Gleyber Torres, when he's up, he scares me the most out of anybody in that Yankees lineup. I'm like, this guy's going to get a hit every time I see him.
Yeah, I think he has the most value on the Yankees because of how young he is and how good he's been, which is at least a few years before what his prime is going to be. And as Aaron Boone said today, it's a joke that he's not an all-star.
Oh, yeah, totally right about that. Aaron Boone was pissed. But even looking at Gleyber in the field, the plays he was making, he's just so slick out there.
Yeah, I mean, and he was so good last year, but this year it's just like he's even better. Like last year in the field, he was a little sloppy. I don't know if you remember, but this year he's one of the most smooth second basemen in the league.
I think something that has to do with it is the players on the Yankees roster know about all the depth that they have, so they're like, I got to play in my A game every night, or I'm gonna be replaced, and I think that's been a key for the Yankees players. Like, if I don't hit, I'm riding the bench. Or if I don't hit, I don't play the field, I'm riding the bench. So yeah, and then James Paxton gets down a beautiful bunt. I can't believe James Paxton got down that bunt. Mets pitchers can't bunt for shit, but then James Paxton, who probably's never bunted in his entire life, being an American League player his entire career, sets down a perfect bunt. And Edwin Encarnacion with the best base running that I've ever seen. I couldn't believe it. Two guys that I never would have expected to have to play good small ball. It was I was so mad at that play.
Yeah, I watched it. I was like, oh, damn. Because I just, Encarnacion at third, I was like, no way he scored. And then I looked up and I saw him running to the dugout. I was like, what? He scored on that?
Yeah, Wilson Ramos didn't even pay him any mind. I think that had something to do with it as well.
Yeah, that's true. I just didn't think they thought that he was going to go or that Paxton was even going to get down the bunt.
Yeah.
The Big Maple kind of.
And the Big Maple was dealing on the bump. You told me he's pissed about the last game he had against the Mets. He was cruising. Mets couldn't get anything going until the sixth inning. J.D. Double Davis with a solo shot. And
yeah, what can you say?
The guy's been batting .385 at Citi Field this year. And with Todd Frazier maybe packing his bags and getting traded by the deadline, that's going to give a spot at J.D. Davis for an everyday third baseman, and I think he deserves it. Todd Frazier, he's been playing really well, but looking for the later years with the Mets, Todd Frazier has no value with us. There's no way we're going to re-sign him in the offseason, so I want to see J.D. Davis get as much as bats as he can.
Yeah, I think they should trade him, get a couple middle prospects, maybe shore up the bullpen, see if you can get a bullpen piece for him.
Yeah. So yeah, and then The eighth inning comes along. Mets still down 2-1. Adam Ottavino in the game. Pete Alonso hits a ball to the second baseman. Or no, hits a ball to DJ LeMahieu, and he was hustling down the line, which caused DJ to kind of hurry a little bit and make a poor throw, which he was able to beat out. Pete Hustle.
The defense was bad.
Yeah, I love Pete Alonso's hustle.
Yeah, he books it. He's a big boy, but he puts it all on the line.
Yeah, so the eighth inning has been magic for the Mets the last couple nights. Following field hit by Alonso, J.D. Davis comes up and rockets a double to center field just out of the reach of the diving Aaron Hicks. Boone didn't have J.D. playing as an opposite field hitter. Hicks would have definitely had that ball easily.
Yeah, definitely. That would have been a heck of a catch, though.
Yeah, he spread out for that ball, but just out of his reach, which caused Pete Alonso to score from first base. Hustling all the way, dove into home plate. J.D. Davis with a RBI double.
Why did he dive?
I know, he was hyped. But did you see J.D. Davis, how he was? He threw his arms up while he was rounding first base and almost missed first base?
Yeah, I did.
Keith Hernandez didn't like that at all. He was like, "What are you doing? You got to run that out." But
yeah, I mean, running that out, Aaron Hicks, which was one of the key factors that cost the Yankees this game, hits a double, and he just absolutely pimped it.
Yeah.
Could have got a triple, and next at bat, Didi hits a fly ball to the center that would have gotten him in.
Yeah,
it would have.
He thought he was playing at Yankee Stadium.
2-0. It's, I don't know, that's dead center. You should know.
Yeah.
I understand that he pulled it to right or something like that.
But yeah. So then game tied at 2 after the J.D. Davis double. And Robinson Cano steps in. And you guys walked Robinson Cano. I was really surprised by that. I know it set up the double play, but I thought Ottavino would have wanted to come at Cano, especially how much Cano's been struggling. So I was really surprised on that.
Yeah, Ottavino just didn't have it. And then
No,
Britton
he didn't.
Comes right in.
Britton came in to face Ramos. And again, the Yankees played Ramos to hit opposite field, which Ramos has been doing well all season. But I think in that situation, you got to play Ramos to pull because he's trying to make something happen. He's trying to give us the lead, and it bloops in for a single, bases loaded, and stepped in Michael Conforto with RBI double to give us the 4-2 lead.
And that was it right there.
Yep,
so,
that gave us the.
Didn't have it. Britton gave up a shot. Britton settled down after that, but.
Yeah, and it was great to see Diaz come in and slam the door with the great catch by Ramos to end the game. So, Yankees lose. Game 1.
Well, we fell to within only 5.5 ahead of Tampa. 2, DJ Hero starts it off right away by starting a new hitting streak with a double right down the line. And then Judge cracks one right in the gap for another double, and DJ scores, and then who I've learned is your most feared Yankee, Art Glaber, with an RBI single.
Yeah, let me tell you something about DJ LeMahieu, though. DJ, he's got to be the most valuable player right now in baseball, especially how much he's getting paid and the production he's giving out on the field. It's insane. You guys lucked out by him. And here's a guy that the Mets could have got, but instead we chose to get Jed Lowry, who's a dead man. Have you heard anything about Jed Lowry? I thought he was
the second baseman in baseball.
Oh, well, according to Shredder, he was. But the guy's dead. There's no updates on him. I think the Mets killed him. Yeah, I think the Mets killed him, and they're just trying to cover it up right now.
Yeah, I don't know if Ellsbury's still alive.
Yeah, but no, didn't you say they saw him running in the foul lines?
He was running foul. Yeah, there was an Ellsbury update. He was running at George Steinbrenner Field from foul line to foul line. But he got tight at the end, so they stopped.
Of course he did.
But moving on, DJ, amazing. He's been so good for the Yankees. I mean, way better than throwing 330 at Harper or 300 at Machado. Has a way bigger value on this team than either of those two would, and he's definitely been the most valuable Yankee. I think Gary's done the most damage, but DJ, he's been the most valuable. He's changed the way this team's hit.
Yeah, and that rubs off on the guys. they're seeing him spreading the field, going gap to gap, and hitting's a trend. Guys see how well you're doing if you spread the field, and then they follow suit.
Yeah, this you definitely see it wear off on the younger players like Gary and Glaber. They don't swing at that garbage they would swing at last year.
Off the first inning for the Mets, Jeff McNeil hits a first pitch bomb off of Herman. A rude welcome back for Herman, who did have a great game. But quick stat on Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil had his 500 at-bat tonight, and he has 150 hits through his first 500 at-bats. He's only behind Joe DiMaggio and Wade Boggs for most hits through the first 100 at-bats. What an elite company that is.
Yeah, he's definitely off to a good start to his career, so hopefully for you guys he stays healthy and keeps it going.
Yeah, and right now the Mets have the pieces. They have their leadoff guy in Jeff McNeil. They have their power hitter in...
They got a pretty good offense.
Yeah, they have their power hitter in Alonso, and they have their all-around good hitter in Conforto. Just the bullpen and the pitching has just been killing us the entire season. If we had a half-decent bullpen right now, the New York Mets would be playing meaningful baseball right now, which I don't think we're going to see any more meaningful games. That you told me you think this was the last Mets meaningful game this year, and unfortunately I agree with you because it's just too far gone by now.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't seem like you said this stretch was huge, and you guys have not been playing well so far. You've failed the test, it seems like.
Yeah, but other than that, Herman was lights out.
He was lights out. McNeil hit the home run, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna fluster Herman a bit because he's still a young pitcher, right coming off the IL, and he just bounced back and was like, all right, and he stuck it to us.
Yeah, no, he definitely did, and I was definitely worried when McNeil hit that home run because Herman got rocked last week in AAA, so I was like, maybe it was just a hot streak, but no, he definitely was locating the ball well against a good Mets lineup and was making a lot of guys look silly. So he's back, and that's huge for the Yankees, as they seem to have their ace of 2019 back.
Yeah, but Yankees all night played great baseball. Jason Vargas, he was sticking in there a little bit. He got a couple big strikeouts against Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge, but at the end, the Yankees just they showed that they're a power hitting team by Didi hit a tank and then Gio hit a tank. Gio's home run.
Back to back.
Yeah, Gio's home run was like a laser beam.
Yeah, Gio cranked that. Seemed to just cramp up. Didn't seem to be anything more than that. But yeah, Gio cranked that, and he's been a really valuable player for the Yankees as well this season. And I think, like you were saying, how they're like next man up. Their team has so much depth, and that's what Gio did tonight. He hasn't played in a good 3 or 4 games, so took advantage of his opportunity.
Yeah, and in the field, he's disgusting. He robbed 4 hits tonight?
Yeah, about 4 hits, and then that last one where he threw it from his wallet.
Oh. Man, the Mets will never get a player like that. Well, I guess it's Jeff McNeil, but the Yankees just continue year after year just bring up these guys who are kind of not top prospects, decent players coming up, but then they end up just becoming superstars.
Yeah, definitely Didi.
Yeah.
And Hicks. Those guys were they were awful when they were.
Yeah.
At least they were always good fielders, but they could never hit. And that's what it was with Gio. He was a great fielder, but he couldn't hit when he was with Cleveland. Yeah,
and it's just something about, when they put on that Yankees uniform, they're like, this is the pinnacle of baseball, and they go out and play. And then the Yankees bullpen was lights out tonight.
Yeah, definitely redeemed themselves from last night.
So yeah, but I'm sad that I didn't get. I mean, I'm happy that I didn't get to see it but I'm also sad I didn't get to see Chapman at all. I wanted to see his stuff. I wanted to see how the Mets would hit against him.
Yeah, did you see when he was warming up in the 7th?
Yeah, I thought that was so weird.
Yeah, he must have just wanted to get some work in. I mean, he just pitched on Sunday in London, so.
Yeah, and he's been looking very good the entire season.
Oh, this is by far, I think he's on pace for his best season as a Yankee, maybe even in his career.
Yeah, so
he's got a 1.32 ERA, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's great.
23 out of 25, so.
Yeah, so the Yankees take Game 2. Mets and Yankees split for the second year in a row. I'm getting tired of these splits, man.
Yeah, definitely. They need to play in an odd number of games. I think they need to play more games.
Yeah. So more drama coming out of the Mets locker room before the game, as reports came out that Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, Noah Syndergaard wants Thomas Nido as his personal catcher. Jacob deGrom already has Thomas Nido as his personal catcher, and you can't let this stuff come out into public. It's got to be something that's made in house. Like why do we have to know about this? It's just showing how dysfunctional we are.
Yeah, definitely. I remember in '09, I remember AJ Burnett said he wanted to have Jose Molina as his catcher, which was fine, but there was no need to say anything like that.
Yeah, and usually you wouldn't see that. You don't usually see that for the Yankees. Like I'm sure if Herman.
Well, AJ Burnett, there was only a reason.
Yeah,
he was there from 10 to or 9. He was good, but I mean, remember when he smashed his hand against the locker and split his hand open before the start?
Yeah, he was always a hothead, even with the Marlins.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty bad with the Yankees, but hey, we go down 0-2 in that World Series without him.
So yeah, another PR meltdown for the Mets. Just nonsense coming out. Noah Syndergaard, I feel like he's gonna get traded.
You think so?
I think he wants to.
I mean, the way he acts,
it just feels like even going back to spring training, he's just been trying to stir up trouble the entire season. And like Mike Francesa says, he's a prima donna.
He's a prima donna. He's just like Matt Harvey.
Yeah. So much drama.
I would do it if I was with.
Oh yeah, if you could get something good, I would do it too because we got some good pitching prospects down in AAA. So if we got a good package for him, I would definitely do it as well.
I would trade him for an offensive package just to make that offense good to one of the best in the National League.
Yeah, exactly. So another thing came out with the Mets. Todd Frazier was talking with the New York Post, and he said, if I get traded, okay. Like he's saying, I'd be okay with it. But he didn't really say, yeah, I want to get traded, but that's something you don't want to hear from one of your players. Todd Frazier, he's turned his season around completely, batting .301 in his last 153 at-bats. And I think we got to trade him, too, because he has no value to us after this season.
Yeah, definitely. If it's still not looking good in mid-July, I say definitely trade him for a bullpen piece or something like that.
Yeah, bullpen, like we did with A.J. Ramos a couple years ago. We traded, I don't remember who we traded, but we got A.J. Ramos to be on the team for next season, but that didn't work out because A.J. Ramos was absolutely awful for us. And then the Mets, a Mets person said that they are open to trading Zach Wheeler to the Yankees. And I want to see that because Zach Wheeler would get his ass lit up in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, but he is on the short list for starting pitchers that the Yankees would like to acquire.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so up and down about this from Stroman, but I need to just make up my mind and just be Team Mad Bum now.
Yeah, and didn't Mad Bum say he would waive his clause?
Yeah, he said he'd definitely consider it if it was with the Yankees, but I mean, he's looked really good his last 2 starts, and I don't know. I feel like if he puts on a new uniform, he's gonna be just like Verlander, and just his career is gonna he's just too talented. He's had too many good moments for his career just to be over like that. I think he's gonna have a JV resurgence wherever he goes.
Would you be willing to give up Clint Frazier for him?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. Moving on.
I would give up Frazier, and I would do Estrada too. He's just what he's done in the postseason cannot be discredited.
Yeah, but I mean, Paxton, if he keeps up how he's been pitching lately, the Yankees are in a good position, especially with Herman back, and he looked sharp tonight.
And then Severino shut down again, unfortunately. I don't know. We might not see him this season.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And what about Stanton? Is there any word on him? How long is he going to be out for?
August. They have it. Yeah,
Jeez.
He's going to be back in August.
Oh, I told you he wouldn't be back. I told you he was going to get hurt again.
Fuck you.
But
I don't get it. How does he slide into third, gets his hand stepped on, and he has a strained PCI? How does that make any sense?
You know what doesn't make any sense? All the injuries you guys have, and you're still the best team in the American League. That doesn't make
Next
any
man
sense.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
And you
Like, I love Giancarlo Stanton. He's one of my favorite guys on the team, but like we're gonna be fine.
and like another funny thing is you got Clint Frazier in AAA. Clint Frazier, I think he's a Major League Baseball player, and it's just I'm not saying you guys are wasting him away, but like on any other team, that's a Major League starter, don't you think so?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, first of all, the guy fielding wise, he would get shit from any fan base.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I mean, the Yankees. Cashman said that they plan to have him in the minors for this whole season, just so make sure he's good from all the concussions. But like, I don't know. He said the plan was to have him in the minors in 19 and be starting left fielder in 20. But they're definitely not selling low on Frazier, so they definitely think unless it's a big prize, he's gonna be starting in left next season.
Yeah. Well, with Guardy's up there now. It's probably going to be his last season. So it's going to be
he won't play anywhere else.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Yankees do. So moving on to the Mets and Yankees rivalry, because I've been seeing on Twitter a lot, Yankees fans, they just act like they're too good for the Mets to have a rivalry with them. Do you feel that there's a rivalry? Like, because I feel like the Yankees
with the fans, I think there is, not with the teams.
Yeah,
I mean, for more so for the Mets. I think the Mets players care about it more.
So do you hate the Rays more than the Mets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I mean, I honestly, I like the players on the Mets. I like the team, the Mets. Just the fans are just like little flies in my ear all the time.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I see where you're coming from, but of course, Mets fans are gonna come off annoying to you, and Yankees fans are gonna come off annoying to me. But I think that it's kind of the Mets fans mostly poking at the bear, trying to piss off Yankees fans. But the Yankees fans act like, oh, the loss doesn't mean anything. It's just another game. When it does mean more, and you guys know it.
Yeah, no, it definitely means more. I mean, you go into a season, you want to beat the Mets every single game, and like you want to beat the shit out of them. Like it's fun. I mean,
yeah, it's always
a
fun.
Rivalry. It definitely is with the fans, but I think if Aaron Judge hits a home run against the Mets or in the Red Sox, it's a totally different feeling for him.
Right. But yeah, it's always fun, Mets and Yankees, because that's a game where you could throw away the standings. It's always going to be a full house, no matter
that's true.
What the records are, and that's what I love about the Subway Series. It's bragging rights.
Definitely, I thought Yankee Stadium was expensive. They were charging unbelievable prices at Citi Field.
That's
way more expensive than Yankee Stadium.
That's the Wilpons for you. They're putting out a shitty bullpen for you, but here you go. We're gonna raise these prices. Hopefully,
but dude, I was upset. I wanted to take my dad there for his birthday, and for the second, I was like, first deck was unbelievable. The second deck for just the two of us would have been like $350.
Jeez,
no way.
That's crazy. But Yankees
and there were
Mets
40 in the third deck at Yankee Stadium
for the Subway Series.
Yeah, when they were there in May.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I would think Citi Field would be cheap. Yeah,
you can get some reasonable prices.
Yeah, I would think that Citi Field would have been cheaper than that. But yeah, that's the Wilpons for you, trying to squeeze out every penny they can from you while putting a shitty product out on the field.
Because y'all have Shake Shack, that's why.
Oh, delicious. Delicious.
The games I've gone to Citi Field, I couldn't wait because the line was like literally at least 1,000 people each time.
The one thing the Mets have over the Yankees is a better stadium.
No.
You don't think so? Are you kidding me? Ask anybody.
No,
Ask anybody. Come on.
Ask anybody.
I mean, because...
Ask any Met fan. I mean, anyone who doesn't like the Yankees is going to say so, but Citi Field, it's nice. I mean, nice place to walk around. I'll give you the food. I think the food's a little better, but, I mean, Yankee Stadium, I walk in and nothing looks more beautiful than that field. Yeah, if you really just want to focus on a game and not want to do anything else, you go to Yankee Stadium. But, like, if you just want to, like, go and hang out, have some beers and, like, meet some friends there, I think Citi Field is, like, the destination for that. Because there's just, like, so many, like, different things at Citi Field. Like, Yankee... Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, food-wise. But, I mean, just, like... feel like the field, I think, and just like the look with the gates and stuff.
Right.
I mean, I know what you mean. Like, there's no food and activities, but I just think if you're talking about a better looking stadium, I'm always gonna go Yankee Stadium.
Speaking about the Mets Stadium, remember back in the original dimensions of Citi Field, how it was that
Yeah, before they moved it in.
yeah, that's what killed David Wright's career. He had a friggin' hit a 500-foot shot to get a home run, and like it was ridiculous. The Wilpons killed his career by building that shitty stadium.
I know, they killed his career. They broke his back.
They did. They arguably because he's trying to hit home runs. He's trying to hit it 500 feet just to get a double.
I know, he's home run derby.
Going into doofus and congrats guy of the week. My doofus of the week is Chris Paddock for not winning National League Rookie of the Month again. That goes to yours truly, Peter Alonso, racking up his second one. Hopefully he doesn't see it because he's going to be big mad again.
Well, he's gonna be big mad, but didn't he get sent down? How many starts did he miss?
He missed a couple, but he's back up here now. That was weird how they sent. Yeah, it's weird how they sent him down just to bring him back up again. I guess like for like they wanted to just like get him like not against like high leverage situations.
I heard it was just an innings limit.
Yeah, that has to do with it. But like Chris Paddock, man, he's a competitor. Like the fire he showed when they played against the Mets and he struck out Pete Alonso. I like that a lot. But dude's an asshole.
Yeah, he's fiery. I'd like him on my team.
Who's your doofus?
My doofus of the week is I don't care about basketball, but the New York Knickerbockers. I mean, and their fans kind of. I mean, they're just like, we're gonna get KD, we're gonna get Kyrie. I'm like, I don't even watch basketball, and I know there's not a chance that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
and then apparently today they canceled their meeting with Kawhi.
What a bunch of. They made Dolan makes the Wilpons look like actual good owners, but yeah, I used to be a huge Knicks fan, as Reed remembers, but I just couldn't have the Mets, the Jets, and the Knicks just killing me year round. So I had to take a break, and I had to cut the Knicks off.
Yeah, the Dolan's, he's an awful owner for basketball, but at least in hockey, he's been looking a little better.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It looks like he's building something.
Yeah, the Rangers, they're not looking too bad right now. I mean, there's a couple questions.
I believe in the rebuild.
Yeah,
I was sad to see VZ go. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a little questionable, but we got a third-round pick for that, so hopefully we'll get something good out of that. We got a third-round
pick, and it was obviously because who we signed.
Yeah, exactly, and we got to hold on.
I've never heard of him. Is he, like, elite?
Oh, yeah, he's really good. Panarin, he's the bread man. He had a great he like the Blue Jackets were not without him they would not have been a playoff team this year. And
wow, that's good.
Yeah, he's a really good player, and hopefully things start to look up with the Rangers. We got that great prospect who's gonna be making his debut this year, and we just gotta hold on.
Good talented players. You got Vomesnikov. You got
Mika.
Kukoc.
Yeah, and
Mika, and then you got Mika. So they're building some depth. Please hold on to Kreider.
Yeah. Yeah, just hold on to Kreider, and hopefully we can get Lundqvist the ring before he retires.
Yeah, definitely. Georgiev had some really nice moments last year, so they're obviously going to go half and half. So come on, get Hank. He deserves it more than anyone.
Oh, for sure. My congrats guy is Bobby Bonilla, because he racked up his $1 million paycheck from the New York Mets on July 1st, and he'll be getting that until 2035. But little known about this, what the Mets did with the Bobby Bonilla contract, it's not the worst thing, because they rather pay him in little increments instead of just having to give him all that money right up front. Because if they gave him all that money right up front, we wouldn't have got Mike Hampton, which that didn't turn out so great. But he had one good year for us, but then he became an asshole, and then he went to Colorado, and then that's when the nobody could pitch at Coors talk started happening when he went to Colorado, and when we lost Mike Hampton to the Rockies, that gave us an extra draft pick to draft David Wright. So
wow, so there would have been no David Wright.
Would have been no David Wright without Bobby Bonilla.
But I mean, that's from a player standpoint. That's going to be the best contract ever.
Oh yeah, he's just banking in for the rest of his life. I mean, there's a lot of players that have it. Like Jeter still getting paid by the Yankees, but that's fine because Derek Jeter's an absolute legend. Bobby Bonilla is just a sad.
What was the contract you signed him? How many years was it?
It was at least 10. May have been a little bit over 10, but it was at least for 10 years, which was it was an insane contract because he was in his 30s when we gave it to him.
Wow.
Like the Mets will always Mets, man.
Yeah, but my congrats guy is John Sterling is going to be taking his first game off from Yankees broadcasting since 1989, I believe, which is incredible. I mean, you might think he's a little over the edge, you might think he's weird, but the guy's an absolute legend, and people call me crazy, but he's one of the greatest broadcaster in sports history.
Hit is high, hit is far, hit is gone. He's one of the best of all time. Right. I love John Sterling. You look at the Mets not the Mets. You look at New York baseball's broadcasters: John Sterling, Michael Kay, Gary Cohn, and Howie Rose. That's the best in the business right there.
It really is. I mean, no one is more exciting broadcasting than New York broadcasters.
Yeah, nobody. It's the best in all sports.
It is. It really is. I mean, that new guy that you obviously had Vince Scully and the Dodgers' new broadcaster. I mess with him a little bit, but no one comes close.
But those four guys are shoo-in for like the Broadcasting Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Kay and Sterling it's got to be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
And actually, you gotta give it to Susan. She might have her.
Oh yeah, Susan. She may have her moments, like you said, but
she's been out there just as long, and she knows her shit.
Yeah, it hit the knob with a bat.
She's like, the Detroit Tigers are just mad because they stink.
That was a classic moment. So wrapping up today's show, two very sad moments. In the sports world, Tyler Saggs passing away at 27 years old, and everybody seemed to love him.
Yeah, definitely. All guys from around the league who knew him. Giancarlo wrote a really emotional post on Instagram.
Yeah, and
then just to see how much it tore apart the best player in baseball was tough to watch.
And every team wrote something about him. Every team posted about it.
Definitely. So he definitely was respected and seemed to bring a lot of positive energy to the clubhouse and to the field. So
and
it's so sad.
It's and you saw how he just posted a picture with the team the day before, like they were all wearing cowboy hats because they're
in Texas.
Yeah. So you hate to see it. And baseball, it's been coming almost every year it seems like someone passes away, and it's just awful.
Yeah, no, it's awful. And you got to feel for Justin Bohr, who's had to deal with this twice now.
Oh yeah, that's extremely sad. Wow, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, because he's on the Angels now, and he had to deal with it with Fernandez. So
yeah, and then
I really respect Giancarlo though for reaching out, because he obviously has seen that. So to kind of give those guys that advice on how to carry themselves, because I'm sure none of them knew what to do when they heard about it.
Yeah, and then the second passing hits close to home with you, the hefty lefty Jared Lorenzen passing away.
Yeah, Lorenzen, I mean, I didn't know him too much, but he was a great teammate, back up to Eli, I believe, right?
Yeah, for when they won the Super Bowl.
Exactly, yeah, so really sad to hear. He was pretty young, too. I think he was 37, so...
Yeah, it's
always...
Sad
day for
the New
York Giants fan base.
Yeah, it was always fun watching his college clips, and when he was playing in the indoor football league, he was just this huge quarterback scrambling around. Had a huge he had a rocket arm, and it was just fun watching that big guy play quarterback.
Yeah, it definitely was. He kind of like a Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of guy. It seemed to bring joy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Didn't care he was backing up.
For sure. All right, so that wraps up this episode. Follow us on Twitter. Reed is at 2SidesofNY, and I'm at Metsman19. Follow us on Instagram.
2SidesofNY.
2SidesofNY. So thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys.